Hi, my name's Rob and I'm going to be giving you an introduction to programming using NXT G. So once you've got the software installed, you should see NXT 2.0 programming and NXT 2.0 data logging. We're going to be going into the programming side, so double click on that to open it up. So if your screen is not maximized, you might like to do that now, like I've already done, by double clicking on the top blue bar or the maximize button. You probably have this Robot Educator panel up on the right hand side. We can minimize that to give ourselves a bit more space on the screen, but if you ever want to get that back, you can click on this button here. Also on the splash screen, you've got somewhere to type the name of your program. We're going to be doing a little dance routine, so type in the name dance and then press go. Once the programming screen has opened up, you'll see down the left hand side the common palette. If someone else has been using this program before you, then it might look like this or this down the left hand side. You can click on the common palette, the leftmost icon down here, to bring back up the common palette. You'll see a bunch of different options: move, record, play, sound, display, wait, etc. We'll be having a look at some of the rest of these later on, but for the moment we're just going to be concentrating on this move block to make the robot move. You're going to be building up your program here on the screen, and we build it up by dragging out these blocks, positioning them on, and you'll notice that there was that little beam extended out. That's called the sequence beam, and there's a highlighted region there. When I let go of the mouse here, my block will actually drop into that highlighted area. You'll see that the block here is highlighted, and then down the bottom left hand corner of the screen we've got this area called the configuration panel, and that's where we can adjust the various settings for the selected block. So in this case we can choose which motor ports we're using, so by default it's B and C. We can set the directions forward or backward. We can make adjustments to the steering. We can adjust the power, and we can also adjust how long the robot moves for. So we can have the motors move for a certain number of rotations or a certain number of degrees, or we can do it based on time, which is what we might do here. And let's set this to a duration of 0.5 seconds, so we'll make the robot go forward for half a second, and we'll leave the power level on 75, and then we can download it onto the robot using this button here. All of these buttons down in this bottom right hand corner for interacting with the NXT brick. You need to make sure your NXT is turned on and that you've got your USB cable plugged in. Then we hit download and you should hear it beep, and once that's done we can actually unplug the robot if we like, or we could leave it plugged in, and then we can select My Files, Software Files, Dance, and then when we're ready we can press the orange button to run it, and you'll see the robot moves forward for half a second. Okay, let's say we want to make the robot move backwards for half a second after that. So I can drag out another move block. So it'll still go forward, and then we've got this move block which I'm going to change to backwards, and I'll change the duration to match up what we had before, 0.5 seconds. And let's say we want to make the robot go forwards, backwards, turn left, turn right. So I'll grab another move block, and this time I'm going to change the steering and steer it hard left, and I'll grab a fourth move block and steering hard right, and I'll change that time to be the same as well. So they're all set the same. I'm going to download this program and we'll try that out. Okay, so you can see there it went forwards, backwards, left, right. What I would like you to do is, well, firstly see if you can recreate this program, make a robot that can go forwards, backwards, left, right, but then I would like you to experiment with your own sequence of move blocks and see what different little dance maneuvers you could come up with. So for example, could you make a robot move in a zigzag or a wave or a star or a spiral or whatever you like, really. All of those sorts of basic maneuvers can be done with a sequence of move blocks, and just experiment with the different settings in the configuration panel and let me know what you can come up with.